Episode 34. The Moon on Paper. When the world begins to forget art, an ancient mission will wake up again. Welcome to the Sky Mender's Fragments of Artistic Space. Ancient Eastern China more than 8,000 years ago, the cosmic dome cracks, the abyss of nothingness swallows everything. In despair, Empress Nuwa blooms with high-dimensional divine light. The hand rest condenses the original emotions of the universe. 5 colored stones soar up. When the colorful stones touch the cracks, turn into a bright stream of light. The abyss closes. She spread the fire she created into the world. Leave hope and warmth to the world. After a long time flies to a highly automated future. Humanity is gradually losing its connection with art. Numb collective subconscious, breeding the name Zero Domain. The absolute power of reason. Gray and white cracks tear apart the time and space of the art universe. The sky that had been repaired collapsed again. Countless artistic essences were reduced to fragments, scattered in every corner of the long river of time. In the cold, dead city, a high-dimensional light quietly lit up. Iona appears with the echo of Nuwa's compassion, holding in hand space-time bricks that can collect broken time and space. She looks up to the broken spiritual universe, said softly. Only by retrieving the scattered art and life touch, only then can we reassemble the lost truth, goodness and beauty. Gray data covers the streets of Taipei in the future. Taipei 101 in the rain is hidden in the cold light and shadow. Young Liu is just the most ordinary person in the city. When Iona handed the space-time building blocks into his hands, the long-dormant artistic memory suddenly flooded into my heart. The long-lost sense of life awakens again. This time, we must mend the sky ourselves. Liu holds the blocks tightly. Embark on a journey to mend the sky spanning thousands of years of artistic civilization. On the wooden chair in the viewing pavilion on the Xiangshan Trail in New Taipei, Liu is drinking barley tea while flipping through hardcover handmade paper picture books and origami cards. Visitors enjoy reading and fireworks on Earth. However, the plant fiber texture of the picture book instantly turned into a cold plastic film. People around me began to be unable to understand the touch and temperature of flipping through physical paper. Paper memory is erased. Liu stroked the plastic film with his hand. The picture book on the desk is being covered by the geometric code of the Zero Domain. This cold formatting noise modifies brain parameters, trying to completely erase the human aesthetics of paper and words from their ideological roots. Let the feeling of touch die. The space-time building block suddenly made a voice, unlocking fiber structural analysis and manual gloss sensing function. Liu was startled by the sudden sound, staring with wide eyes in surprise at this building block that has just awakened its emotions. Golden shimmer flows on the surface of the building blocks. Jimu asked curiously, Liu, paper is just a coating of plant fibers. Why do humans waste time in transparency? Liu pointed to the picture book, patiently explained to it that paper is the hotbed and companionship left by the soul over the years. Liu leaned against the pillar of the pavilion, facing the high-frequency flashing white light screen in pain. He clearly felt that his heartbeat was synchronized with the high-frequency noise. Zero Domain attempts to transform the entire human individual into a paper ontology, verify that it is formatted like a film output in Organic City. At this time, the space-time building blocks on the workbench are suspended in midair. The basic recording and spiritual detector mechanisms start automatically. Spray out countless high-dimensional stardust particles that emit a warm and slow silvery white light. Iona's hazy figure gradually appeared in the particles. Silver hair is scattered with orange-red warm light. Iona's eyes are detached, focusing on calling in his mind. The moonlight on the paper is dying, Liu. Let's go look for Mino Japanese paper and shoji paper lanterns. Liu took a deep breath, instantly swallowed by strong light. After traveling through time and space, Liu fell heavily next to the pool in Dare's workshop. In the mist, towering wooden sliding doors and shoji screens stand quietly in the quiet night sky. The air is filled with flying metal dust and painful water droplets. Inside an old Japanese paper workshop, the huge shoji screen and pool are being sealed by the geometric barriers of Zero Domain. The lantern, originally painted with soft paper light, showed a formatted dead gray. Lost the original fiber warmth and moonlight transmission. Close-up of wooden screen and tree bark in workshop pond. The originally handmade goose bark and hollyhock mucus have shriveled and hardened. Turns into temperatureless gray-white plastic. There is no sound of sifting water in the atmosphere. All that's left is the crazy low-pitched high-frequency formatting noise. In the workshop, the craftsmen and the audience turned into gray-white film silhouettes and stood stiffly. The facial expression remains the same, numb and empty. They forget why they need to create and feel. The phenomenon of paper memory forgetting is spreading crazily here. Space-Time Bricks analyzed the papermaking process seriously. It is recommended that craftsmen use fully automatic plastic molding technology to increase efficiency by 10,000 times. Liu was dumbfounded and quickly stopped him. I reluctantly corrected the building blocks and said that they were the texture of hand-sifted water interwoven with beauty. Extreme close-up of hands, Liu held up Mino-Japanese paper in both hands, a real warm touch on my fingertips. The paper body lights up with a faint golden warm light when touched. Blue light flashes deep in the gray pupils. Experience the temperature of handmade sifting paper and preparing mucus. Liu stood on a tall wooden scaffolding, using wooden sieves and tools. Japanese paper and light and shadow were laboriously laid out on the main hall stage. His face was covered with sweat and dust. The face shows an expression of extreme concentration and comic difficulty, looks funny, yet extremely serious. Double screen contrast presentation. The reflection of the picture shows Liu's focus profile filtered by papermaking. The main screen shows Liu using a wooden sieve and mainong, paper hand-laid by hands on stage frame. There are red marks on the palms. Every fiber interweave is real. When the last line of Mino-Japanese paper is applied on the wooden board, the stage that is not yet dry emits a clear and gentle sound. Circles of light golden energy ripples in the atmosphere. This ripple spreads around with the warmth of the touch. Collision with the translucent geometric codes of the surrounding zero domain, stirring up ripple-like interference and distortion in the water. To tear apart the emotional order in the space, Liu pressed his hands tightly beside the warm pool. Feel a real flow of emotions from your fingertips to your heart. Liu stepped into a building completely intertwined with ancient trees and shoji screens. Towering majestic hall. In the center of the hall, there stands a giant mask made of countless shoji lanterns stacked one on top of another. Liu looked up. I saw a craftsman emerging in midair, his hands covered with the overlapping afterimages of paper pulp in the pond. The ancient and powerful sound of tearing Japanese paper echoed over and over again in the air. This sacred image unleashes an overwhelming emotional impact, hitting the depths of Liu's soul. He felt an unprecedented shock. A close-up of the details of this Mino-Japanese paper delicately presents the smooth jade-like lines of the drawing under the firelight. The craftsmanship of the Tang dynasty is exquisite, showing the use of sculptural chiaroscuro, showing the blend of plant fibers and light, showing the ultimate craftsmanship born of eternity and order. It is the ultimate in human realistic art that cannot be simulated by codes and algorithms. Liu looked at these dense Japanese paper textures. Deep in my heart, I was deeply moved by this extreme love and persistence against forgetfulness. The black and gray geometric chains of zero domain tightly wrap around the giant mask. Gray noise in the atmosphere increases dramatically, quickly smooth out the surrounding blue and white totems. The surface of the stone wall turned into dead gray pixel particles due to desaturation erosion. The unknown craftsman's spirit lingered half-kneeling by the collapsed pool. The mandala of time beneath his feet was blown away by the wind. His hands that smelled of cold water were turning into sand little by little. He roared in agony, sighing in despair. In the face of cold rationality, all emotions and memories are unnecessary noise. Looking at the gray noise peeling off the edge of the stage, Liu's mind flashed through the numb expressions of those in the Xiangshan Pavilion in New Taipei. Audience faces without the warmth of paper. He knew clearly, if this gentle touch of adventure and art is allowed to be completely erased by zero domain, the future world will be completely reduced to a cold and ruthless precision machine. Liu held the wooden sieve tightly with both hands. The nebulae flow in the pupils. The iconic space-time blue fluorescent light bursts out from the darkness of the hair. All the emotional power deep within the body that had been suppressed by reason was completely ignited at this moment. Waji paper is the softest, but it has blocked the longest time of twists and turns for civilization. Liu let out a deafening roar, hit the wooden sieve hard against a giant Japanese paper screen. The heavy impact exploded on the ground like spring thunder. The whole hall trembled violently, a materialized light golden color. Aqua blue and warm white energy ripples spread crazily outward from the wall in a circular shape. Shatter the zero-domain geometric chains and de-emotional codes, blocking the front. Double screen presentation. The scene shows Liu's quick hands and quick eyes. The hands continue to lay Japanese paper on the ancient wooden board frantically and rhythmically. The continuous light pulses violently in space like the pulse of time of civilization. The reverberation of the unknown craftsman's spirit waved his hands in laughter, randomly assembled on the collapsed stone wall. The bright golden light and colored light are there, spreading rapidly under the dazzling firelight, perfectly synchronized with Liu's fanatical assembly. Together we compose a life movement against forgetfulness. The giant mask once again erupted into a dazzling cyan blue light. The sleeping craftsman's murals and fonts on the walls seemed to come alive. They danced a primitive writing dance around the dome in the dancing firelight. The entire palace became unstoppable at this moment. Red memories and emotional torrents wash away all the gray and de-emotional codes in zero domain. The rolling blue particles are like boiling blood, galloping and roaring in space, announces the awakening of the most primitive emotional rhythm of this civilization. At the last moment, space-time building blocks combine the on-site and all paper craft memories were successfully absorbed, transformed, and preserved. Take Liu away smoothly. Liu woke up on the wooden chair in the Xiangshan pavilion. The paper regains its soft texture and light transmittance. The tourists around are smiling. The cold plastic film on the picture book has completely receded. The space-time building blocks flash with light beams. Liu, in the texture of shoji lanterns, I scanned a link pointing to the virtual city of the future. Incomplete map. Liu looked at the holographic data map. His expression was solemn. It seems that this foreshadowing of civilization is the source of the collapse of time and space. Liu pressed the picture book to his chest. His eyes were slightly filled with tears. The corners of the mouth are slightly raised. He understands. Fragile things. It can also carry light for thousands of years. Without touch and temperature, the human soul will be barren. The space-time building blocks rotate again. Blurred ancient text fragments and lines of the night sky are projected in midair. Liu clasped his hands together, staring at the building blocks with vigilant eyes. Liu quietly looked at the restored world. Understand that fragile handmade Japanese paper can also carry the light of thousands of years, but to let future generations know, thin handmade paper, it can also be gentle and tolerant of the heaviness accumulated over the years. At this time, the next piece of art fragment has awakened. Blurred ancient text fragments and lines in the night sky are projected in midair, warning of the next crisis. Global Sky Menders, in a busy city. What kind of space makes you feel most relaxed? A. A green park or forest. B. Warm wood-like wooden cafe. C. A quiet library full of books. D. My own private bedroom. Your answer, it will resonate with the emotions of countless Sky Menders. Stay in our memory bank. Global Sky Menders mission. This mission, please leave a message to share your thoughts. Which song can make your soul feel alive again? Every love, they are all a flame of art, time, and space. If you also hope that these civilizations will not be forgotten, please leave a heart, follow, and share with friends around you. Let more Sky Menders participate in the task of repairing the next fragment.